my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi. Every reason to get excited right now, because this man is here. Wow, dude.
Are you feeling it now? Are you
I
feeling
am.
it?
It's sort of dawning on me, yes.
Yeah, man, I know. Don't worry, we'll drag you across the line, my bro. I know you're short on sleep because there's just been so much happening in the world of movies, building up to the release of John Wick Chapter 4.
That's right. John Wick Chapter 4, good grief, and I've seen it. So while I get my bearings together, because I'm virtually speechless about this movie, how about we have a look at two old friends reuniting in John Wick.
Oh,
Chapter 4.
Go.
Bonjour, Monsieur Wick, and welcome to La Resistance.
A little far from home, aren't you?
Well, your little act of uncivil disobedience inspired me, John. I'm branching out, spreading my wings. How goes the grand farewell tour?
Coming to an end.
So it seems. 42 regular, wasn't it? It's Kevlar front to back, the latest in ballistic chic. Appropriate for all formal occasions, weddings, funerals, high table duels. After all, a man has to look his best when it's time to get married. Or buried.
Goodness gracious.
Yes.
It's hard to know if that's Keanu's regular face or if he's just marveling at Lawrence Fishburne, who is one of the best actors we have. Because
yeah.
And
Keanu's
they
got
are
that gold
tied
fish
together in cinematic history.
Going back to,
The
what?
Matrix.
No, but like literally seeing that
Morpheus
combination,
and Neo.
it invoked so much emotion right there.
No, for
just
sure.
seeing that scene, they didn't have to say anything. It just was like, whoa,
And
gravitas.
aside from these previous franchises that they worked on together, whatever, you're going to feel so much like, we just came out of the kitchen now, like you can taste love in food sometimes.
Yeah.
It's seldom we get to go, wow, I can feel this was made with love and that every person working on this movie loved what they were doing. I was telling our camera guys the other day, because they love this kind of thing too, it looks like the camera team working on this even were just so grateful to be a part of John Wick, that they're thankful for being paid to play. Like,
Play, that's the word, because you get that glint in Fishburne's eye
Yes,
there.
yeah.
The dynamic tension that is created by saying and doing nothing.
Yeah,
in
and
that scene, the anticipation of the
stretching his
action
legs.
to come.
We don't even need to get that analytical about it. It's one of my favorite. He chews the scene in whichever way he likes. And I mean, look,
Listen, dude,
you've got Ian McShane there as well.
It's
who
like
is-
the epitome of cool, though, but like, is it something that justifies making a fourth movie? Because often when you get to number 3, 4, 5, it's like, oh, it's a
What can you
repeat.
do?
I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but they said they're going to take a break for a bit.
Okay.
I will tell you, though, that from just having watched this movie, there are 4 actors in this. 4 characters who could easily have spin-offs that are justified. They could have trilogy.
Can we talk
So
about
you
this
were saying there's
cast,
some big
buddy?
names. Okay.
Let's talk about Donnie Yen and Scott Adkins, two of the greatest acting martial artists.
That's right.
On screen.
Scott Adkins was very sweet, by the way. There was a tweet in
Boyka.
2014. In 2014, young Scott Adkins, who obviously was established by then, but he wasn't Keanu Reeves big, he was tweeting, oh man, this John Wick movie looks so cool. And now he's in it.
Yeah.
Now he's part of the family. It's so adorable.
But what these guys physically are capable of, it's weird because it used to be martial arts pushing film. Now film is pushing martial arts.
Yeah, and what's push is the right word here, because what's really respectable about this is Keanu Reeves, while he puts in the work, he's able to push himself to the side and say, look, you guys take the stage. There's a new person, Rina Hirayama, who is one of the, wow, she steals scenes when she fights. These are some of the most exciting fights you can see all year. I'm going to say it flat out, like the West, Hollywood only has 2 action franchises left. That's Mission Impossible and John Wick. Nothing else is action coming out of Hollywood. Like if you're not...
Yeah,
making
the Fast and the Furious, they've just started their engines and they're coming for you, bro. They're coming for you.
I do not care. I've learned some moves from John Wick. A freaking pencil.
I was thinking of that paperclip. Can you boil an egg with a paperclip?
But we're talking about all these big names and the family that they formed, but I have to mention a guy who moved me to tears this week. Obviously, we saw the passing of Lance Reddick at such a way too young age. just suddenly, and I don't know what the ins and outs are, I don't care. I just know that I was deeply sad in my heart as someone who loved him from The Wire. He was in the Beyonce music video where he's chasing Jay-Z and Beyonce. Dude's been so dynamic.
But you talk about gravitas. There was an actor who, fairly late in his career, became known as someone who could add that gravitas to a scene.
And you could be watching a load of bull, and then the second he's on screen, it's like, wow, the whole thing's elevation.
Yeah.
So in case you guys don't remember, he's Karan, the doorman, the guy who is a pillar of John Wick. He's literally the front door of the movie. And I was bleak this week, and we all are, I'm sure. And fortunately, thankfully, and obviously sensibly, the entire cast, Keanu Reeves and Chad Stahelski, the director, who is also a magnificent director, have dedicated the entire franchise to him and this movie to him.
Fitting indeed.
Jeez, what a ridiculous loss. One of the most talented actors we've had. But look, I'm not going to get into my feels here. I've got another clip for you. Let's get into some of the thick of the action. We've seen some of the simmer or Lance Fishburne.
Yes, bring it on.
Let's look at one of these stunts that, by the way, what this movie's going to do to you is make you go, dudes, I cannot believe there's no category for best stunt in
Not
general
yet.
awards.
Not yet.
We'll find out for ourselves. Here's a look. John Wick 4.
Get out of here.
Desperately try to show you that there's a human face behind that wheel at all times because of the devotion that Keanu Reeves and the whole team behind John Wick put into it. And for that reason, JP gives it 9 ones out of 10. Not even kidding. It's
goodness.
Mission Impossible. It's anything Tom Cruise is touching and anything Keanu Reeves is touching. And literally, this movie could spin off to about 4 other people who deserve what they did. Man, you can see a move and you go, I know they practiced
Do you know
that
what's
for
going to
weeks.
happen?
I know they choreographed.
They're going to have to bring back another Matrix because this is so good. I can see it happening, man. The world is a better place for this film. Go and see it. Absolutely love it. We love you guys. Thank you for...
I'm eating your time, so go watch
we
the
love
movie.
it. Knuckle sandwiches for breakfast.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, now that we've been able to live out all of our childhood fantasies vicariously through Ryle, that was the coolest thing we've ever seen. Thank you so much for giving us real fight stunts. And of course, we are focused on John Wick Chapter 4, which is why we are so enthused this morning. And of course, it bears the notion that there was something there that was very Matrixy. And I know it's the spirit animal.
Obviously.
There is an energy, there is a vibe. Is it an ode to... Can we draw some parallels between, because it's the same universe,
in this
really.
little segment, in fact, there are theories that will go with it, and I'll tell you that later, but I'm calling it Enter the Matrix.
Matrix.
That is because, for a start, just the nuts and bolts of the who's who behind the names and the people. And firstly, is Chad Stahelski is the director of John Wick's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This man has a lineup ahead of him of 8 movies, including Highlander. He's trusted now in Hollywood. And why he comes from the Matrix, how he's connected, is that he was Keanu Reeves' body double, the director of John Wick. So who knows every inch of Keanu Reeves better than his girlfriend and his body double, I suppose. The stuntman and plays to his strengths in John Wick 4, because while the writing's cool and it feels very classic in lots of ways, he knows his strength, and the strength is putting the work in with the guys. And like I said, there's some moves where you go, they must have sweated over that for weeks. The whole sort of like behind the scenes here where you can see like Keanu swearing at himself and going, like chucking his nunchucks, just because it's really frustrating after a while. So obviously, look, the other name Keanu Reeves was Neo in the Matrix. Please, don't make me tell you that. And then obviously Morpheus as well is Lawrence Fishburne. So those are the nuts and bolts. Let me tell you a bit about the things that, and these are just in my estimation of JP's Matrix, the estimation of how the aesthetics are very similar. So the aesthetics, what I mean by that, I mean the feel, the themes, the visuals that look similar.
It almost feels like a graphic novel come to life. There is a visual element to it that kind of feels
And of course,
like that.
because, you know, The Matrix is very much inspired by manga. So what we're looking at here is firstly animals come into play. John Wick's lost, his puppy. Neo had to follow the little white rabbit, the cat of deja vu in The Matrix, and all animals are signifiers. There's a very strong Gothic
dogs
feel in
for-
both
yeah.
cities. There's the sense here where you're looking at the scene, just because I like this motif, the mirror room and the duplicated screens. Please, everyone who's watching, please watch this, because this is the reason I haven't slept, because I was assembling this.
You went down the rabbit hole, but
Aside of
Followed the white rabbit, bro, yeah.
obviously that's also not to Enter the Dragon, but from the Matrix as well. The perception versus reality, the mirroring. What I also liked is the weird like rusticness of the machinery. In the Matrix, you have these machines that are sort of like steampunk, and the same thing goes in John Wick. You have these receptionists with the tubes and whatever. I like the little window jump that John Wick does there for Trinity in John Wick 4. And then, of course, you got the dojo, you got suits, you got guns, lots of guns, and that's obviously what the Matrix is also about. Those are just the aesthetics. Those are the things on the outside.
The snow and the rain, I mean, I saw it all. I love that you compared them like that. Well done.
I broke my butt doing this. So
yeah, but I think you almost have to. And like I said, I think this is going to spawn a whole nother...
Well, because, look, John Wick is a labor of love, and all of those people who worked on it love each other, and it is a love letter to the Matrix. So let's talk about the other stuff about it. The functions of these aesthetics. How do they function? You know, form over function and all that. What does the thing do? What are the mechanics? So you have, including the Lance Reddick, and you have the Keymaker from the Matrix. They are doorkeepers. They're gatekeepers in the Matrix, and they're gatekeepers in John Wick. And they are the ones who are, they're filled with integrity. You've got the oracles as well. Ian McShane is very much a father figure, a guiding figure, in the same way that the oracle is from the Matrix. And then you've got the Merovingian, who is the snake, the slithering dude who uses semantics, sophistry, and the tricks of language to bend the rules to his will. Aside from that, you also have then the higher echelons. The Matrix is a corporate structure, basically. You have enforcers in the form of agents, and then you have the executives who you're looking at here, including the architect. And that's your Scott Adkins, by the way, who's looking a bit more plump than you.
I know, I love him in that, guys. No doubt he's still going to be bad.
Another interesting parallel then is you've got the underground. You've got the execs on top type thing. You've got the Matrix, the system, then under the system you've got Zion. And Morpheus obviously was one of the captains of Zion. And here Morpheus is in the underground where he runs the Bowery in John Wick 4, where in a similar way they're a lot more liberated than the assassin system. Obviously they work under the table, as the movie says.
For sure.
They abide by certain rules, but they almost play by their own. In the similar way, Zion has a small sort of agreement with the machines in the Matrix. They have a sort of agreement with the Assassin's Table, etc., etc. All these parallels.
JP, this is incredible. I mean, you have to know your movie back to front to be able to make these comparisons.
But all that said, you can also just like let your hair down and you can watch this.
Soak it up, drink it in.
Over and over.
John Wick is pure cinema, guys. It is like, and this is why you see other nods as well. Buster Keaton, you'll see Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, etc., etc. Now, let's talk about, I said form, function, I said aesthetics, I said nuts and bolts, but what is the purpose?
Purpose, the why.
What is the narrative? What is why? What is the Bildungsroman? The building of the young man. What is his heroic story? And similarly here, John Wick 4 might end in a way that The Matrix ends. I'm not giving anything away, but what you're watching there is the last duel, which you do know from the trailers. I'm not giving away anything there. Is that in John Wick 4, the way he resolves it is a one-on-one versus Bill Skarsgård, who's at the clown. That's not a Matrix reference. Maybe there was a clown in the Matrix. I don't remember. But the purpose being here is that very much what John Wick and The Matrix talks about and what we need to think about in this world, and especially with like systems like capitalism and control and all that kind of stuff, the executive, the corporate structure, and all that
seems to be falling down right
freedom versus predestination, predetermination, free will. Agent Smith keeps asking about choice, keeps talking about consequence, cause and effect, the Merovingian. And these words come into John Wick 4 as well. They refer to, are you born a killer and is that all you can be? Or is your puppy and as a memory, as a symbolic memory of the wife who was trying to pull you out of the life, that just get out of jail free type card. You can live outside of what you were programmed to be. Neo was programmed by the Matrix to be an agent for the Matrix against his will and had to break free of that in the same way John Wick has to break free of a murderous cycle. And
the system will fall.
So it's almost like a recipe. They were following a blueprint, successful recipe.
And it was all out of love. It wasn't theft or anything like that. They all worked on both movies, so it's all from a place of love. That it's just for the love of cinema that they did.
And the love of movement.
I've fallen out of love with talking. Let's move on.
Buddy, we absolutely love you. Let's continue with the movement right now and get another lens to look at this incredible film through.